Brett and Drew, welcome to Frightfest.
Thank you.
So this isn't the first time you guys have been, right? You've been before?
This is the third.
Third time, yeah.
Fantastic.
Came for Deadheads about 8 years ago, which was a completely different type of movie. It was a zombie comedy.
Okay.
Rom-zom-com is
Love
what
it.
people called it.
They were very popular, you know?
And then we made a little short, and now we're back
Excellent.
with like a straight dark horror.
Exactly. Yeah, tell me a little bit about The Wretched then. What can people expect?
They can expect, kind of a fun but really dark creature feature, kind of like witch mythology, and just kind of, we always compare it to it's like Rear Window, Fright Night, kind of maybe the Goonies a little. I don't know, a little bit of all that mixed into one. So
I was just literally about to ask you about what your kind of big inspirations were, because I definitely got a lot of Fright Night out there.
Yeah.
We're big Fright Night fans.
We love Fright Night.
Just big John Carpenter fans. Yeah.
Really cool. But then there's also that kind of folk horror element, or the sort of woodsy, witchy kind of stuff as well. Where did the kind of where was the sort of seed of this idea?
Kind of all over the place. We've just always loved witches and witch mythology. We love Roald Dahl's The Witches. That book,
that's a scary film.
A lot of
the movie's
even the
terrifying.
movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And I think we just always felt like, where are the witch movies that are about witches that steal babies and creepy things that live out in the woods? Because so many witch movies are usually ghost stories, where at the end you're like, oh, she was a witch.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's try and build a mythology for witches in the same way that vampires slowly developed over the last couple decades. Have come up with so many different rules and
totally
cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And it's got a kind of, like we mentioned, it's got the sort of fun sort of teen element to it. It's got a kind of family drama and that kind of thing. You've got some great actors as well.
Thanks.
Really fantastic characters as
we're
well.
really happy with everybody.
Yeah. Was it a kind of a big casting process, because you've got quite a lot of characters going on in this as well?
It was an ordeal in the fact that we just did a casting call in Los Angeles, and Drew and I sat through every audition.
Every single audition.
Worked with everybody and just found the right people. So, but
Love
probably
it.
the best one was the woman who actually plays the witch creature in it. She just sent in a tape, so it was just her crawling at camera and screaming, all this stuff. We're like, oh, she's great.
It's really funny to cast a monster.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's great. So what? How's it been so far? Sort of, has it been playing at other festivals? This is the sort of first time
We
you've seen
played
it
at
with the UK
Fantasia.
audience.
We did our world premiere at Fantasia, which was a lot of fun. We sold out. It was a really great show and got a really great reaction. But yeah, this is just the second audience.
It's the third, actually. Drew.
Oh, yeah. Traverse City. We shot it in Traverse City, northern Michigan. It's this great fest that Michael Moore runs.
Oh, wow.
And we played it up there because we knew a lot of the locals that heard about our movie.
Because we shot in their backyard.
Would never see a horror movie. Would come out. So that was kind of a fun screening. It was totally a lot of elderly people that were locals. So this is going to be totally different because it'll be the hardcore horror.
That's right.
audience.
Does that make it better for you guys, or is that more pressure when you've got kind of hardcore genre fans?
Way more pressure.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're kind of, you see a movie that's super hardcore, and you're kind of well, we have our moments, but I don't know for that, So
Yeah. What were you sort of going for tonally? Because there's a really nice mix of it's quite playful and fun, but it is also dark and scary. That must be quite difficult to get that tonal balance.
I think we love a little bit of levity. It just makes the scares scarier for us. And I think it's also, we're just naturally, we always just can't help but throw in jokes as we're writing and stuff, because that's just part of the process. You're writing a horror movie and you can't help but laugh, and you just start and that stuff just winds up sticking.
It's a balance in the edit, though, because sometimes you're just kind of oh, that's a little too goofy right now, But it's kind of I think the rule is that we can go through most of the fun stuff in the first half of the movie. So when it gets a little darker later on, it's okay.
Nice. How do you guys work together as a directing pair then? How does it work? Do you are you both on set together the whole time? Do one of you kind of take over from the other?
Yeah, it's kind of boring, to be honest. We get along really well. We kind of become the same person because we do a lot of pre-production. I'm a storyboard artist, so I do a lot of the designing and we storyboard the entire movie and shot list every shot we're gonna do, and just by the time we get to shooting, it's like Alfred Hitchcock talks about, I feel like we've already made the movie in a lot of ways, so then it's just about doing the work to get it on screen. So at that point, we're just boring to talk to because we just sound like the same. You know,
we've had all our fights before, so no one sees us like acting mature. So.
Was it kind of a nice sort of, was it a fairly sort of easy shoot? Were there any sort of big challenges along the way when you were filming it?
There's always big challenges.
It's always challenging.
I mean, making an indie film, like, to be honest, that's the thing, is like, even if you see like a movie at Frightfest, so, there's a couple movies I wasn't the biggest fan of here, but like when you see even like 1 or 2 movies that you don't love, I still respect the shit out of anybody that can
make a movie.
It's war, man. It really is.
We kind of made the mistake of one thing is like they always tell you like don't make a movie with like animals, kids, and special effects, and we were like let's just put all 3
all of them.
Let's have animals and kids and special effects. So.
Some great young actors as well. Fantastic. How did you find those guys?
Just through casting, actually. Our 2 main leads, John Paul Howard and Piper Curda, the 2 teens, we cast off of tape. We read a ton of people in the room, and then we kind of rolled the dice because we saw these people that actually just sent in tapes from out of state.
Nice.
So we did
amazing.
John Paul Howard was in Hell or High Water.
He's in Hell or High Water.
So we watched him one scene on there.
And Piper Curda is a big Disney.
Right.
She was like so well trained.
Nice.
She could just do
Best
anything.
part was we had to call John Paul and tell him like, hey, you got the part, JP. And we called him. He's like, well, I guess I can quit my job at the pizza place.
Oh, wow.
So I'd come out and do the movie.
That's so
like,
cool.
Yeah, quit the job. Yeah.
Fantastic. He's like family now.
That's awesome. So for people that can't make it to the festivals, any news yet on sort of where people might be able to find this? Any distribution in the
We're
UK
sorting it out.
like
I think we're going to know in the next like month or so here.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of interest, so I think
We're going to be at a ton of fests. We have like, too many right now.
Nice.
So they're coming up. But yeah.
Any other projects in the pipeline yet for you guys that you can talk about?
We have a lot of things in the works kind of right now.
There's a werewolf thing we really want to do.
We need a good new werewolf.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out what's the thing we're going to spend the next like 2-3 years of our life.
So you're going to kind of like nail all the monsters like zombie, witch, werewolf. Amazing. That's good.
It's like when you start doing special effects, you just kind of get addicted. So you're kind of like, I'm like, let's do a werewolf. It's like that's like the hardest.
The
one
ultimate
to do. Like,
practical effects challenge.
It's so hard, isn't it? Yeah. There's about 3 movies that have pulled it off. But you guys can, I'm sure. I can't wait. So finally, then, what are you hoping audiences are going to kind of expect or get out of this movie when they go see it for the first time?
Hopefully, like a roller coaster ride. You know, it's just. I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, we make movies we just want to see. So it's like I just want you to go in, get sucked in, and feel like we surprised you all along the way.
Yeah, I think people are going to absolutely love it. I'm a big fan. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.